plugging things in the electrical sockets and etc. And so Dad actually made a board up with all kinds of plug-in and switches for me. He was handy. And the problem was then I plugged that board into the sockets. And I don't know what kind of fireworks I created, but they got kind of excited. I had a wonderful upbringing in St. Louis. After we moved out here in 1948, I was in the end of my 7th grade. It was quite an experience. After got a little older, as the boys, my friends in St. Louis, got cars, they would all come out to visit me. They had a 40 Ford convertible. It burned enough oil, they did mosquito control for redbud. As the years went by, and as I said earlier, in high school, for some reason, I had the feeling that someday I wanted to be in some kind of a business. And I did work in the tool and die shop, probably from the age of 14 or right in that age, or a little younger maybe, sweeping floors, painting the building, just general maintenance. Oh, an interesting thing.
Organizing supplies for them?
Yeah, well, yes. I would organize supplies. That's where they had me counting the bolts and nuts. I can remember this. I thought, oh goodness, this is really hard. So I did what any normal, common sense person would do. I put X number of bolts in a thing and I'd weigh them, and from then on I'd weigh the rest and then took the inventory that way. I knew that shortly after I finished, somebody'd come and grab some out and it wouldn't be perfectly accurate anyhow. So through those years, I can remember one kind of exciting thing. We were working with a huge die set outside, and I was working with a man I respected very much, but something went wrong in the way we picked it up, and it dropped to the ground, and I jumped back, and when I did it, it just missed the tip of my shoes. The Lord blessed me. That was special. Finally, one day, there was a bake shop right next to the tool and die shop, and this man come out of the room. I didn't even know anyone was in that room. And he said, I sleep days, and my problem was while I was sweeping and cleaning up, I would sing all the time. I loved to sing. Those were neat days. When most of my friends went swimming, I went to work. And I never regretted it. I enjoyed it. But anyhow, those gave me the itch to someday be in business of some type. As I got out of high school, I did go to work for the tool and die shop. And that continued to be a blessing to me. Then I went into the Army. I would tell my roommates I looked forward to going back to work in a tool and die shop. Some of them were college students, and they looked forward to going back to college, and there I was looking forward to going back to tool and die shop. At that time, I was a tool and die maker. I did build dies. I ran every machine. At any rate, working over there, that was for Elliott Tool and Die. That's when I decided to either go to California to an Air Force airplane plant or start my own business, and I chose to start the business.
The fingers.
What's that?
You were the only one that had all.
Oh yeah, she reminded me back at that tool and die shop in St. Louis, I was the only guy that had 10 fingers. Everybody had a finger nipped. I really was careful. And also I was blessed. The good Lord guides you in everything you do.
And that impression from them, losing fingers and so forth, carried you over to when you started your own business, that safety was so important.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want anybody to get hurt. The business, after I left St. Louis, I came out to the chicken house and I looked around and I thought, wow, we can do this. So we cleaned the chicken house up, fixed it up, put some doors and the big doors in the end of it. I imagine my father helped me with that, even though he was working. In the process of starting with nothing, you knew you had to do a lot of things by hand. Fortunately, the Army gave me a large old power drill, hand drill. I brought that home. I used that to drill holes, and I sawed things by hand. So the first machine that I set up was a bandsaw. It was a wood bandsaw, and I remember needing to saw off a 1 by 2 inch cold roll steel to build the guides that would make a bandsaw become a steel bandsaw and saw more accurately. Sawing that by hand. So it was nice to get the bandsaw going. After we had the bandsaw, Dad was still wanting to cut the wood, all that wood that he had his mind on. And I said, Dad, just wait, we get this bandsaw going. We'll cut that up in a short order. Dad still wanted to do it by hand, but Mom says, no, listen to Kenny. We'll cut that wood up. And so we did. The three of us, we cut that wood up in a few hours. What would have taken him weeks or months to do. I bought a multiple drill press. They still have one at the shop. And with this saw, I could saw the things that I needed to do for that. And by the way, what I did is I motorized also the bandsaw. So now I motorized this drill press, multiple drill press. So at any rate, now I had a drill press and a bandsaw. And it wasn't too long after that, I went out looking for work with hardly any equipment. And the first real good job I got was really nifty. It was for International Staples. They build staples for people to do commercial stapling, where you push down on a stapler and they had a little dial on the front. I think RBI still has the one with that dial on the front.
Yeah, it's that long.
Well, about that long. And it would just, put big fingers down and huge staples through cardboard boxes. But I got the job to do the little front plate needed a bunch of little slots and milled in. And I had no milling machine yet, so went out and bought the milling machine after I got the job. This was the only new machine I bought for many years, this vertical mill. I think they may still have it, I'm not sure. They did until recently at least. And built the die, then went and found a used punch press. And then I was fortunate, this was more at a regular machinery dealer, and I established trust with the dealer. He let me have the equipment with no money down, just pay as we made money on it. We brought this old punch press home, put the die in that we built, and started punching these for that customer. And my mother did the punch press work. She'd lay the parts in, hit the pedal. This was unsafe presses, but that's the way they were at that time. Wonderful time. This was done in the corn crib, by the way, in that building.
And I ran the punch press too.
Okay.
But your mom did the most because I was taking care of kids.
And also taking care of the office. Joan started taking care of the office. The family, without the family, I probably never made it. They were constant encouragement. Oh,
and
yeah.
Your mom would stand for hours and with her goggles on and on one foot, and then she'd have to bring the pedal down to spot weld. And I don't know, it might have been about 6 different spot welds to get that round thing on.
Mom and Dad just worked just unbelievable all the time. They helped so much.
And of course, in those days, we were still in the chicken house, and you just struggled every day. You didn't have dreams about how big the company would get, but just make it each day. And I remember the snow being so high, and Kenny trying to keep that truck running, and worked on the truck. And when we really needed it, it broke down. I said, and I prayed, Lord, just keep the truck running so we could keep going. That truck was so important to keep the business going, because without the truck, we couldn't deliver, or we couldn't pick up the items we needed for the business. So I would drive, and
When
Kenny,
we'd go places.
when we would go, and we'd go back up to Hicksville, and he would design the equipment or whatever Wayne needed while we were on the road going up. He had his graph paper and pencil, and but the problem was with me, but we couldn't turn on radio, no music or anything. It had to be dead quiet. So you drive up almost to Chicago without any talking, any kind of but he was right there by me, and designing whatever it was. And by the time we got almost up to Chicago, I was ready to scream. What do you do?
As times went on, we were blessed with work, and we started outgrowing. We added on to the chicken house several times. Our customers, we were very loyal with. In later years, I had one customer tell Joan or me, I'm not sure, Wayne Weaver was his name. He said he never met anyone that was more conscientious in taking care of the customer than we were.
And the golden rule became in his heart.
Yeah.
Do unto others as you would have them do
Yes.
unto you. And
I
so-
kind of did some booklets for the shop in later years, and I even had the golden rule in the booklet. It was so important to me. But our people, and we treated them good, but they treated us great. It was a mutual thing. That was sort of a group of just togetherness that's unbelievable.
They became stockholders in 1976, and this really made a difference to have them stockholders. But once they became stockholders, and you saw the difference, turning off lights, and they were on the board of directors, and we were togetherness. Working together.
I believed in togetherness so much at that time that I wanted all the people of the plant to have an opportunity to be part of the ownership of the business. But that was interesting. It showed that some people liked that sort of thing, and others wanted nothing to do with it. And they were extremely good and loyal in their work. Mm-hmm. They would come to work. They did a great job. I saw their attitudes good all the way through.
Yeah, but it was very supportive at that time. We all had, stock in the game, and I could see that they really, they cared more. It was part of their business now.
I never felt it was a one-man show. I always felt it was a whole team effort, and it was, and blessed by the Lord. I can remember many times when we were short on work, and I'd walk out from a customer, and by the way, that's one thing the Lord blessed me with. I never worry. I have never worried. I always trusted that
You didn't have to.
He would. I trusted the good Lord would care for us, and He did. He did. The importance of the people in a company is what makes a company. There's nothing else there.
We were so close on money, and we would write the checks to the people, and then, but we explained to them that we were so low on money, and then if and we might have 4 or 5 paychecks in an envelope. And when they needed money, they'd come to us and say, I need a check, I need to pay bills. And so then I dig into the envelope and get the oldest check out for them. And they were just trying to help us too. And we all
Absolutely.
made it that way. And we still have some from that time that are still working there.
And they even watched between them. If they knew one needed the money more than the other one, could you give this guy a check
Yes.
or that person a check? Oh, we got to build our first regular motor feed. And that's kind of what got the whole company's present product started. We built the motor feed, and after we built the first one, we decided to try and sell more. Well, we go to people, they say, yeah, but we also want you to build a straightener and a reel or this, that, and the other. So we continued then to develop the additional machines from one end to the other as we went. And that's how the regular or the standard product line was established. That's why I never worried. Faith, the good Lord takes care of your worries if you put your faith in Him. If He takes care of the birds in the sky, He's going to sure take care of humans that He formed after His own image.
Yeah. When we were in our 40s, Kevin was one that would always run, and in cross country, whatever. And he talked us into exercising too. And Kenny would run 6.2 miles, and I don't know how many days a week.
3 times a week.
3 times a week.
I tried more, but
And I jogged, and all the while I jogged, I prayed, Lord, please give us good employees. Please give Kenny good helpers and so forth. And God did. As you look at the company now, Kenny, sweetheart,
well, I already said, it's just fantastic. It's beyond my wildest dreams. It's really turned out great.
and as I look at it too, and I see all the cars in the parking lot, I walk into the office and see that beautiful office, which Kenny helped to design. Kathy asked his opinion.
Oh, I just did some trim and stuff.
Well, you did a little more. You did a lot more than that, sweetheart. And I see all of those girls at the desk working so hard, and so have their nose.
And one guy, two
two guys in the office.
They're outnumbered like on Fox.
I never. I think of myself still in the chicken house and the building in town, and at Redbud Industries in the beginning that I did so much, but I don't think of myself as having contributed to
Well, you
the growth of the company.
You sure did.
Because I see them doing it, and I don't think of myself
Well,
as...
you helped us get started by all
Let's-
means. Well,
Thinking back, Kenny, not only did God keep the truck running, but He helped us in every which way we ever asked Him, and more.
oh boy, by all means.
When we wanted to get out of the company and go into farming, just at that time, God
I didn't want
brought
to get
work.
out. I just wanted a variety.
God brought us a wonderful customer who stayed with us for many years, and it's all been about God and His plans and His blessings, and no matter how hard we've worked, it wouldn't have happened without the Lord blessing our work.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
would have just been spinning our wheels, because He already, everything He did had to go fast. It would, that was the,
That's
that
for
was
sure.
always the product. Everything going fast, the cars, fast, fast, fast.
Yes.
We worked hard, and
Oh, yeah.
God blessed it, and we have our children involved in it, and many other people working with us, You never wanted to say employee, the word
No.
employee. That's our coworkers.
They work with us.
We work together,
Yeah.
and that's the way you had it. People, the old timers, they just poured their heart into the business.
Business.
Oh my goodness, they became such good friends of ours as well, and Christian people.
I'm still
we,
friends.
we are so blessed.
I
And
still love all the old timers, and I care very much about the new timers. So we sure have come a long
no,
way.
you gotta look at me. It's
Oh, okay. We sure have come a long ways since the chicken house.
yes, we have.